Everyone. Sorry, just adjusting stuff. It's been a while since I've done this. Yeah, I got a little scratch here. Oh well, you don't have to deal with it. I got to deal with it. I hate when I like bump my face or like get like a scratch or something on my nose because it's like my nose has been broken so many times. So I'm like, I feel like it's the one thing people look at the most when they're staring at me. So yeah, so I apologize for those who are distracted by my bruise here or my little cut. You see Ace back there. He's still healing. He's having ear problems still. We're coming up on his annual shots. So we're going to be doing that soon, but we have to move into the new apartment first. So things are slowly disappearing in here. Hey, Andy, what's up, dude? Welcome. You'll start seeing it. I'll probably do, hey, Drake, what's up, dude? How are you? Did you see that? What's up? Hey, everyone. Holy cow, there's more people in here early than I thought there would be. It's good to see you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Florent. How's it going, buddy? I think, Florent, I think you watch my other channel too. I'll have some Res Evil stuff going up before my move, and then I'll have more after my move because I'm moving in 10 days, which is the day Resident Evil, the Netflix show, starts. So once I get internet and everything set up in my new place, I'll watch it and start doing reviews of episodes and everything. So there will be Res Evil stuff in the next 2 weeks going up on that channel, but you'll probably get another video probably by this weekend on that channel for about the Resident Evil 4 remake. What's up, Tevia? Hello, Tevia. Tevia, I'm sorry I haven't commented, but I've watched a couple of your videos lately. I will try to go back at some point today and leave a few comments. I'm so sorry. I just sometimes I have stuff on at work while I'm doing things like straightening up the back room and backstock and stuff. So I just let things play and I don't really comment or engage, but I will go back and do that and catch up. And same with Mike. Mike, I have a few videos of yours and Anthony's that I need to catch up on. I just caught up on some of Blacktastic's podcasts and videos, so I'm making the rounds. I've missed talking to you, man. I hope you're doing well. I see that you've been smashing your goals at work, which I didn't doubt for a single second. Store are you based at? I'm heading to Florida in September and would love to see you. DM me. I don't want to get into all this, about the, my diagnosis and stuff, but I actually don't work there anymore, if that makes sense. Another me work. Yeah, I guess it's hard to explain. So I don't work at that place. So they are crushing the numbers and they are bragging about it on our Instagram account, which I think we're going to be discussing multiple Instagram accounts, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll DM me and I'll let you know. And, and I'll try to go meet you there so we can chat. How's my day going? It's okay. I just actually got called into work, so that's why I'm starting this a little early. And we'll get into some Venom stuff, but I realize I haven't done this in a while, so let's catch up for a minute. Then we'll talk a little bit about Venom. And then tomorrow we'll do a longer stream. We'll do Seek and Destroy stream tomorrow, which is more of like we can talk about anything. Today we'll catch up a little bit, and then I want to talk about Venom. And then we'll get into some TV shows I've watched recently, like Superman and Lois Season 2, Young Justice Season 4, Stranger Things Seasons 3 and 4, and maybe The Boys. We'll try to get all that discussion in on tomorrow's video and then talk about other things. What's up, Mark Anthony? How's it going? Yo, what's up, Eddie? How are you? Take your time, man. No rush. I appreciate that, Tevia. So let me pull up my video here so that I can read your comments easier in case I miss them. And I do have something to keep it Venom related that I'm going to drink today. It's a G Fuel, which I've never had a G Fuel before. I don't know how I'll have to sip it and I may not be able to finish this. For those that don't know, I had a surgery recently, so I'm still dealing with that too. And so I'm like, I've been a little bit more low energy lately. I haven't had a lot of energy, especially with everything else going on and me not always kind of being here, if you want to call it that. It's been a lot of my life has completely changed, like in some scary ways and in some like ways that I have to just learn to adjust and accept. And then some ways that have been very beneficial. So I'm doing my best. It's a lot. The last 6 months have been a lot, and that's why I haven't been on here as much. Only when I'm, me and I'm able to and keep, and show my enthusiasm. And like I do at work, like I did at work, I hide the personal stuff as much as I can. When I used to go to work, I didn't want people to know what I was going through, what I was, experiencing. and until it got to the point where I couldn't hide it anymore. It was pretty obvious. People were like, "What is happening?" It's almost like you're two different people or three different people, and then we got into all that, and then soon after that, Moon Knight started, and I was like, "Wow, what weird timing!" A character I had no interest in, but yet that show really helped me like accept a few things. That I probably would have still been struggling with now. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird how just a fictional thing can do that. But then again, that's what this channel is, right? I connect to Eddie, and I feel his pain and the stuff he's been through. So, I mean, it's not that weird actually to me. But hey, what's up, Blacktastic? I just mentioned you earlier that I was catching up on your podcast. Blacktastic just dropped his trailer for his new movie coming out. So if you guys want to go over and check it out, and Tajaya, if you want to drop a link before you head out, feel free to. But everyone click on his channel, go subscribe to Mike Z, subscribe to Tevia, Andy Babak, like subscribe, become friends with each other. There's a lot of talented people in here, and if there's ever a time where I disappear again for a little while and I'm not making any content, I know a lot of you watch other content creators, but check these guys out and watch their stuff too. They're very talented. You loved Young Justice Phantoms. It was really awesome and tons of fun. Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm excited to get into that one because I have mixed feelings, but overall, yeah, I thought it was a good season. I hope you get well soon. Are Marvel still making new symbiote comics? Yeah, as far as I know. So yeah, let's crack this open. So I never had a G Fuel. This one has 0 sugar, so I'm sure it sucks. Someone asked me on Instagram, they're like, "Is it any good?" And I was like, "It has no sugar, so probably not." But I figured I saved this for the stream. They were like $1 at Walmart, and I saw a bunch of them, so I was like, all right, I'll just take one and we'll try it out. So, oh wow, actually, that's actually not too bad. It's called Red Ooze, so it has like a little bit of a cherry aftertaste. I think it's cherry. My palate isn't the best, but that's actually not too bad. Sorry, I'm slurping. Well, okay, that just surprised me. I was like, I was trying to get a little bit in. It actually tastes pretty good. Yeah, it's a Carnage can. G Fuel, I guess it's an energy drink, but they try to tout it as one that isn't like, it's not like a Red Bull level intensity. I think. I mean, I really don't know much about it. I know a lot of YouTubers are sponsored by them, but everyone was telling me like, you got to get the G Fuel for Venom and Carnage. And I just didn't want to spend the money at that time on something like that because they were like in tubs, and I was like, "What if they're bad?" So spending $1 on a can to try it out was worth the wait. So that's pretty fun though. But this can is probably what, like 8 months old, 9 months old when they were trying to sell these, and now I think Walmart's got dumped with all the excess from G Fuel, so it's really like $1 a can. But yeah, life comes first, but I'm trying to balance the best I can. What's up, Andrew? How's it going? Oh shoot, you dropped the link. Yeah, drop the link, Blacktastic, if you're still here. If not, just go look up Blacktastic Media on YouTube and check their stuff out. Speaking of which, I did my review of Dark Crisis. I'll have to check that out. I haven't read that, so I'm okay with spoilers. So I'll check that out. No talent on your channel? I don't know about that, Eddie. I mean, you just got to post stuff. That's all. You're a very awesome dude. Eddie was really great when I was going through some of this recently. Eddie actually reached out to me and called me on he was taking a long drive back home from work, and we talked for like a good maybe 30 or 45 minutes about some of the stuff I've been going through. And the biggest thing was at WonderCon, that was in California, MegaCon. I was with my friend Nate, and Nate actually got to experience firsthand me shifting from one part to another part. And he goes, I wasn't skeptical or anything. He goes, I believed what you said, and your diagnosis and everything, obviously. He goes, but seeing it he's like, I don't think I was ready to experience that. He said, I guess the other part he saw is like completely different on some levels, where like I guess they walk with their back straight up. They're very like I don't know, the way he said it. He said he was very alert, didn't talk much, just kind of took things in. and responded, with very few words, very articulate, but like seemed like he was 3 inches taller than me. And I guess if I straighten my back out, maybe I can do that. So anyway, so Nate was just like, it was a whole nother experience. And he said, I told him stuff that I knew would make Siike like have an emotional reaction or cry or something, and it had no effect on him. He's like, he just sat there really calm and was like, accepted what I was telling him. He goes, and then later when you came back, or when I came back, he told me those things again, and I cried. I had the reaction Nate thought I would have. So Nate was just, and Nate knows me really well. So Nate was just like, this was wild for him, and he was like, he had like a million questions. But the thing is, I'm going through a lot of it myself, so I'm still learning too. So until I work out some things, I'm not gonna consistently openly talk about it, but I know it will come up from time to time. But as far as me being on here, I guess the whole point of some of this is to help me. I guess this is how my brain or something is reacting to a series of events, and then also past events that have been coming back. And it's like, I don't know, it's like I don't know if it's a way to cope or deal or get through or survive, however you word it. That's kind of the stage I'm in. So until we get through that phase, we're compartmentalizing things, and basically the others don't even want to be on camera. One likes to work. They like my job to an extent, and they want me to succeed there, and they want me to get that promotion that I never got. So they've been going to work and killing it, and they have all these, I don't know, sales abilities that I think I had, I just never utilized a ton of, and they're killing it at work. And then I have another one of me that's like doing all this other carpentry stuff, and making shelves and doing things for the new place. And I don't know, it's interesting, I guess is how my friend Nate put it. Ace is just chilling back there. And Ace actually notices when we shift, so he acts differently around all of us. That was something we've noticed recently, and something that's come up in like our therapy sessions and stuff. When I'm laying down on the bed, Ace sleeps on the side of me that faces the door, so he's like protecting me. But when one of the other ones is laying in bed, Ace will move to the other side, because Ace believes he would be protected. He doesn't need to protect this version. So it's like little things like that we've been noticing, and some of it caught on camera and stuff, and sharing. So yeah. Anyway, so Venom. Let me take another sip real quick. Awesome drink, bro. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I can still go home and drink my Venom tea from the first movie. I have the bottle somewhere. I was packing stuff up recently, and I accidentally threw it away. And I was like, wait, no, we got to keep that, even though I may never do anything with it. But I'm glad. So it's in a box somewhere, and I don't know if I'll ever take it out and display it again. But I don't know. It's kind of fun that I kept the bottle, though. This can is 9 months old. When something can last that long on the shelf, enough preservatives to mummify a horse. Yeah, actually, that reminds me. There was Halo Pringles that came out in 2020, right? No, 2020. Yeah, 2020. They came out in 2020 at Christmas time, because that's when Halo Infinite was originally supposed to come out. Then a year later, in 2021 December, they released something different. Like they did a promotion with a different brand of chips. But I still found those Pringles, the Halo Pringles, at a Walmart. So I bought a can, and I ate them. I don't remember if I got sick or not, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, these chips are over a year old. Like, they stopped manufacturing them. So these are just, someone at Walmart boxed them up and then waited until the game came out a year later and put them back out. Yeah, crazy. I tried dropping a link in a check for my reboot. Didn't work, sadly, but oh well, I tried. Hey, that's okay. You know what? It might be, I'm going to look at my settings and stuff when I set up at the new place. So it could just be part of my settings. But anyone, just click on Tavia's name and go check out their channel. Just click on each other's names, and you can go to each other's channel. Just be careful, because I think if you click on someone's name, there's like check out their channel and then like report. So make sure you don't report anybody by accident. Andrew says, going to be blunt when it comes to neurological oddities, even when you know and believe, seeing hits pretty hard. I'm sorry I haven't been talkative, Siike. Hey, dude, You don't owe me an apology, and I guess so about the first thing you said. I'm experiencing things a different way. I literally don't remember. Like if I'll wake up like a day later and think it's the day before. And I've been doing this for a year. Like you guys probably heard me talk about it on the show a bunch of times where I'm like, yeah, I can't remember like Monday or Tuesday. Like I can't remember both of those days, but apparently I did this and this and this. That's what's been going on this whole time. And the way we discovered, because sometimes they were saying this could be years to take to discover something like that. The way we discover it was, I think, pretty ingenious on my therapist's part. And it goes back to my visual memory and how I don't have a visual memory, but yet I was describing something that it seemed like I did. And she kind of took a step back and she says, wait, let's go back to that. And I'm explaining something. And then it turns out what I was explaining actually happened. And that is what opened the floodgates to us figuring this out. And yeah, like I said, the only person, well, my coworkers too, but they have been the only people to really give me a glimpse of what it's like when I'm not there. And then we have the memory boards, which we all leave notes for each other on and stuff. So that's how we're trying to progress through this. We've turned the memory boards, I thought were when we thought I had some kind of early onset dementia because of all those memory gaps and amnesia spells. And it turns out it was this. So now we use the memory boards to communicate. So we each have a board to communicate and leave notes and stuff and post what we're doing on what days. And it's not perfect right now, but it's a work in progress. You got to go. Take care. Mark, thank you very much, man. Have a good one. Thank you. I'll be back on tomorrow too. If you're around, we'll be back around the same time tomorrow. I hope all this can reintegrate or at least find a sort of balance point at the very least. Balance is the key. So that's what we're working on, right? Well, I got to go. Oh yeah, I already read that. Sorry. Doggy. Yeah, he's the best. Pringles Infinite. Yeah, that's it. You guys have a good one. Take care, Z. Have a good one, man. Heading out. No problem. All right. So thank you for the thumbs up, by the way, everybody. And let's get into Venom stuff. So the only Venom, and thank you for letting me get some of that other stuff out because I haven't really talked about it. And I know some people get confused about stuff, but I still want to make this channel about the stuff we love. Of course, it's parts of my life will still bleed into the conversation, but I do want to, my channel's never been like a soapbox for, me talking about aneurysm stuff or anything like that. It comes up, but mainly we focused on Venom or Transformers or things like that. And I want to keep doing that. I'll still be here and share parts of my personality with you guys. But that other stuff, is like, that's not what the channel's going to be. And for a while there, I thought I wanted to talk about more adult stuff on the channel and more things like that. And the more this has been happening, the less I've wanted to do that. So I'm kind of reverted back to, let's just keep it simple and go back to the comic book stuff because I still love comic book stuff. So, and wait till you see the new setup I'm going to have in the new place. It's going to be awesome. So I have all the questions, but like, I don't want you to feel like whichever is driving some freak in a fishbowl. That's okay. Well, we can talk tomorrow if you want. Tomorrow we can do a little bit more of it tomorrow. Because tomorrow it's more of like a seek and destroy episode, a little bit of everything. So write a couple questions down and I'll do the best I can to answer them for you tomorrow. So if you're around tomorrow, hopefully you are. But yeah, I do feel like that sometimes where it's like, I guess one of us compares it to driving. So it's like, who's in the driver's seat? And there's, but I don't really see it that way. I see it more like a light source and we all kind of move towards the light source. But then again, if you know my personality, of course I would see it that way. And if you knew this other part of me personality, of course they would see it that way because they're kind of like a gearhead, I guess. So, just that kind of thing. But yeah, Pringles Infinite. Drake says, here's my ideas for Venom 3. Either have Scream as a villain or adapt Maximum Carnage arc. Who's with me? I mean, I guess you could still do Maximum Carnage. So I saw some people still thinking that Carnage is dead. But Venom ate the Carnage symbiote. Now, yes, Cletus is definitely dead. And Shriek, I believe, is definitely dead. But the suit, I feel like the Carnage suit is still in Venom. I rewatched the movie recently, and I was like, yeah, no, it's pretty obvious. He eats Cletus's head off, and then he grabs the suit and ingests it, just like he did in the comic books. Now, they never really did anything with that in the comic books, but I could imagine in the movie they could. And either that sliver is what came out when Venom went into the MCU. Maybe that little sliver on the table. I know it was black, but maybe it's a part of Carnage. And maybe that's how they're going to do a Spider Carnage story. I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see what route they go. For Venom 3, though, I guess whatever they set up with what's his name, Mulligan, the cop, his eyes like lighting up or something. Whatever that is, I imagine that's going to be set up. That's going to be part of it. And I'm still thinking, like most trilogies, you gotta go back to the beginning. You gotta go back to the first one. And in the first one, Riot mentioned that some symbiote master sent all the symbiotes to Earth, right? So I imagine that's who we're gonna see. And maybe that's Null, maybe it's a character they create, maybe it's Toxin, like maybe it's Scream, whatever. Maybe they just make their own thing up. But I imagine with the popularity of Null now, that whatever that villain is, they'll probably just call them Null. But I don't know how much like Null they'll be. Most people will find out when they go see the new Thor movie. Everyone who was like, oh my God, the gore, and they're going to set up the symbiote and the Null, and they're not going to do any of that, most likely. So from what I hear, Gore is a very boring villain in Thor, Love and Thunder. So I mean, which is standard for Marvel movies, I feel. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't get my hopes up on something like that. Hey man, sorry for diverging the topic for a moment, but have you ever thought about making a review on the Inhumans? Yes, I think you had mentioned, or someone else did. I will definitely do that. Once I get to the new apartment and unpack everything, I will grab that trade paperback, the Paul Jenkins one, and Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee. I'll unbox that and I'll reread it, and I will 100% do a video on that for you. Yeah, I've been meaning to do something Inhumans related for a while. That was kind of one of the reasons I wanted to start a Fantastic Four show, was so I could eventually get to the Inhumans. But now with them have popped up lately. Actually, I've recorded a Doctor Strange review, and I went on this whole like spiel about the Inhumans, I think. I don't think I ever posted it. It's still sitting on my computer. I recorded audio only, and I don't know what to do with it, because I'm like, well, what do I just put like a single image, or I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to like edit it, I guess. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. But maybe tomorrow we'll just talk about it tomorrow. Because tomorrow we're doing a Seek and Destroy episode where we talk about some movies and TV shows I've watched recently, like Stranger Things and stuff like that. So maybe tomorrow we'll talk about Doctor Strange, and we'll just get the review out through that way or something. I don't know. And also we'll talk about Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan, I guess, tomorrow as well. I've always had this idea of, Toxin. I've had this idea, Andrew says, for Carnage, either splitting off, taking a new host, and I Am Carnage fully subsuming the host and using up hosts as batteries, or Carnage has inner voice to Eddie Venom. Oh yeah, I see. So like kind of like Batman Arkham Knight, where the Joker was inside Batman's head the whole time, which was awesome. What a cool way to use the Joker. That could be fun, having Cletus in Eddie's head throughout the whole third movie, trying to get Eddie to side with the symbiotes, and Eddie fighting against that talk. I don't know, it could be interesting. That would be fun for sure. I mean, that would be a cool way to bring Woody Harrelson back too, which would be awesome. Null is easy to cast, just get Dracula Untold guy. Oh yeah, he's good. I like that guy. He was a villain in one of the Fast and the Furious movies, but he's been in a couple other things too I've seen him in. He's good. That's pretty good choice. He might actually make me like Null if he cast him, actually. Drake says, here's the thing. If they do Maximum Carnage, Venom could give birth to Carnage and it slivers away and bonds with Cletus' corpse, and boom, Carnage is back. I guess. I mean, I don't know if they could bond with a dead being, but especially one without a head. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could do that. I think they blew their Carnage load, though, on the second movie. I don't know, but I would like to see him in Venom's head, like that, as a third voice or something. That could be really, really cool. But yeah, I don't know about that. And then the suit can sliver away and maybe bond with somebody else or something. Yeah, all good. I mean, all good ideas. let's see, and it's Peter Mulligan, the guy that is self-insert for Patrick Milligan. That's right. I know that, but I also like. It's been so long since we've talked about it. I was blanking on the names, but yeah, Peter Mulligan by writer Patrick Milligan. Yeah, annoying. The movie could have really worked with the minimal changes without him being in it. I agree. I mean, he could have called him anything and whatever. I agree. Unless they're setting him up for a toxin thing in the next movie, which, it's fine. And then again, Gore the God Butcher only had one motivation from the comics. I mean, true. Yeah, he's just killing gods, which that's pretty much, I think, what the movie is. So, but that's standard Jason Aaron writing, too. I'd be on board for Dracula Untold, guys. No, me too. Absolutely. What the world really needs, an anti-hero Carnage. Let us bring Axis Carnage to the MCU. There you go. Axis Carnage. That'd be a fun story to tell in the MCU with the live action movie is inverse everybody and show some of the heroes as bad guys and bad guys as heroes. That could be fun. I'm dying to see your full thoughts on Paul Jenkins' Inhumans since you mentioned the portrayal of Black Bolt on. I'm telling you, I'll just spoil it right now. I mean, I love Paul Jenkins' Inhumans run. That run is awesome. As a longtime Inhumans fan, I love that run. It's really good. I also really like the George Perez Inhuman stuff. But I'll break it down. Definitely, I'll do a video. Probably a long one, probably like a half-hour video. But I'll pre-record it and use artwork, and we'll do the normal thing. You wish you didn't kill Cletus off, Drake says. Yeah, I know, but they were lucky. They got him as a cameo in the first movie, and they got him in the second one. And like I said, you could still use him for the third one if he's like inside Eddie's head. That would be cool. Sadly, knowing Sony, I have a sneaking suspicion they are going to mess it up again, similar to what they did to Carnage. I mean, these movies are mindless fun. Emphasis on the mindless part, but that's okay. Sometimes we need that as like to give it a different vibe than some of the other superhero movies, which some I think take themselves too seriously, and some like kind of ride that middle wave. And I think Venom is just kind of like, we're dumb. Let's just be dumb. And I kind of like that. I posted my Morbius review recently. I finally watched that, so hopefully you guys check that out. Morbius wasn't as bad as I think a lot of people say it is, but it is not good in my opinion. So. That was Joke Seek. Remember, no, it was just carbon copy of that Dracula. Oh, yeah, that's true. I guess that's true. Well, even better why to cast him, I guess. Maybe that's why I thought it was so perfect. Yeah, he is. He's just like a copy of, I guess he's a copy of that Dracula, but he's also a copy of like any, like any vampire from anything. Like he's like tall, long body and like long fingers and stuff. He's just very Nosferatu-ish. But he's like metal at the same time. Like it's like, there was a couple. There's like a Castlevania character that he looked like, and then there was like I don't know if it wasn't Elden Ring, but there was another character. Someone showed me images and they sent me out. They're like, look, it's Noel, and they were doing it for like a week and a half, and I was laughing every time they sent me something like that. Looks like he could have been ripped off of that too. I like Noel for Woody. And Woody Harrelson does want to come back. See, there you go. That would be great. I like Noel for what he represents for Venom, since I thought it enriched the symbiote mythology. On the other hand, I think Noel's too big of a character for his own creator. Yeah, that's true. I don't think Donnie really knew what to do with him, if that's what you mean. But he did add to the symbiote mythology, and that's great. Building is always good. I always say build, don't tear down. When it comes to a character's history. As for Noel in a movie, interesting thoughts. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I genuinely love Woody Harrelson's take on Cletus. I did too. I liked him a lot. Curious about Kraven movie. I don't know if I am anymore. I love Kraven the Hunter, but man, I saw a couple set photos, and I think it wrapped filming recently. I think they filmed the whole thing in like maybe 2 months. Like it was really quick. I mean, much like Venom. Like Venom records really quickly. So I'm just like, I don't mind stupid fun when it comes to Venom because it fits for the character, and Tom Hardy seems to really ham it up and stuff, and I like that. He plays into the role he's cast as, but Jared Leto didn't. I felt like Jared Leto really was trying to take himself seriously in Morbius, and I'm like, nah, this movie should have been like Venom. It should have been really silly and over the top. And then same with Kraven. Kraven should be kind of silly and over the top, but I feel like they're probably going to take that character a little too seriously also, which on one level you can, and you can represent him that way, but then it's like, how does he fit in the Venom universe, if it's not like goofy? So we'll see. My thoughts on Noel as a movie antagonist, given I genuinely dislike Noel, he could work, but frankly, Noel could work, and yeah, just lean full tilt into blah, I'm an edgelord. I mean, that's pretty much, but that will fit the tone of these Venom movies, I feel. If you did that and just hammed them up and stuff, I think it would work. I mean, as much as I'm not a fan of kind of that and that take on Noel on some level, it would fit the movies, I think. You would want him to come back? Yeah, I would like him to come back as Carnage too, or at least as Cletus as a voice in his head. Speaking of Sony, how do you feel about them making Madam Web movie? Because for me, I think Madam Web is a horrible idea and frankly really doesn't need to exist, in my opinion. Let's take a drink on that. That's pretty good. I brought another drink to wash it down with if it wasn't good, and I haven't even touched the other drink, I don't think. I've just been drinking that. Madam Web, I think, could work, or at least my take on Madam Web would be almost like a explorer slash Indiana Jones type thing, Laura Croft type thing, where you have this young woman who's going after this spider totem, and she's looking for this ancient artifact that could lead to a doorway to another world based on some old Aztec, beliefs or whatever. Like, not Aztec specifically, but just saying like some kind of old school belief system. And then she stumbles across a Madam Web who is almost like a Shazam. She's like an old woman was young at one point, maybe thousands of years ago, and got, sucked into all this, grabbed the totem, and then decided to become its protector and guardian, and it bound her to this web of the multiverse. And so you kind of build it out that way. And now you have this young woman who's coming in who's essentially like almost like Shazam or something, gonna be the new mantle carrier of Madam Web, kind of what they did with Carpenter in the comic books. I could see something like that. At least that would get me interested, because I like those types of characters like Laura Croft and National Treasure and Indiana Jones and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I would probably do with it. But it'd be really interesting to see, with Sony already having like Uncharted as a kind of franchise, I don't think they'll do something like that with Madam Web. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to approach it. But so far, I like the cast. I think they just announced the person who's playing, I guess, Madam Web, and I'm like, okay, I could see that. So I think she was on the Scream TV show, which I kind of liked. So yeah, we'll see. I know I'm going to say that a lot, but we'll see what happens. We'll definitely have to see. You want Morbius versus Venom? That would be cool. I would love what's that comic book they were in together? Was it Enemy Within? I would love to see an Enemy Within adaptation with them two, and instead of Demogoblin, do Craven or something. I don't know. So there you go. Aren't they making Craven like Jack Hanna? I think I heard that, but I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have my finger on the pulse of the rumors or the behind the scenes stuff, and even some of the stuff I got emailed to ask if I wanted certain information. I just responded like, hey, not right now. I'm going through a lot in my personal life, and I really can't juggle a lot of this stuff, so I'm not really reliable at the moment. But I'll get back to you if I feel like I am. But maybe I'm also thinking this could be a good way to cut myself off from that kind of connection, so I can actually go into this and make these videos as a fan again. I think that would make it more fun for me to go in not knowing stuff. So I want to kind of get back to that place. So I might use it as a way to cut myself off. You hit the nail on the head. Morbius took itself too seriously. I mean, it really did. Like, I was watching, I'm like, yeah, these are good performances, but like, what, the wrong movie? Like, it's just the completely wrong movie. I'm like, Jared Leto, you're doing a good job as Morbius, but not the tone that this movie got edited into. Like, not at all. Like, they edited it and try to make it kind of silly and over the top, but the performances don't match it, and it's clearly because they made that decision in post and not when they were filming it. When they were filming it, they were probably trying to take a more serious take on the character, with a little bit of humor, I'm sure, but the way they edited that movie is like, it's such a mess. They ruined the whole vibe of it, I think. Just make Craven hunt Venom, not too difficult. I mean, that's literally the easiest thing ever. Is like, just go, hey, there's a monster running around San Francisco, and Craven's like, all right, I'm going to go stop a monster. Easy peasy. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to hunt this vampire. So perfect. Here's a joke Venom 3 idea. Venom versus Charlie Sheen. Oh my goodness. Wow, we'll just call it Venom 3 STDs. Andrew says, the problem with Morbius versus Venom is you'd have to have Tom Hardy and Jared Leto competing, and Leto feels like he's so egotistical that he'd demand top billing. Then again, I greatly dislike Leto. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of his either, for behind the scenes. Um, but like I said, he did okay in the movie. It's just the wrong movie. Like I was like, I feel like if someone told him, we're gonna edit this and make it really silly and crazy and over the top and maybe add some kind of energy to it, I feel like he would have given that in the performance. But I don't know. Yeah, it's I'm with you. I'm not a big fan. But I don't know. I don't know. I think if he got to be in a movie with Tom Hardy, I think he'd be fine wherever his name popped up. I don't know. That's me personally. But Venom versus Charlie Sheen. Sheen, I drank tiger blood. Venom roars, dude, I ate the whole tiger. Nice. Yeah, that's that's awesome. Personally, if I got my way, I would rather them have Spider-Girl Mayday Parker. I would love a Mayday Parker movie, and hopefully they could hint at that in a Madam Web movie where she's peeking into other dimensions. Maybe she could see Mayday. Or who knows, maybe you'll see Mayday in the new animated movie. I don't know, maybe. I personally liked Morbius. Yeah, I mean, some people did actually. There's a whole group of people out there defending that movie, which I thought was really cool. I'm like, hey, that's great. Like don't feel bad about liking something when other people crap on it. It doesn't matter. It's like then it's for you. They made the movie for you, and that should make the movie feel even more cool. There's movies like that. There's a couple movies I've watched that like I like Red Letter Media. I don't always agree with their takes on movies, but like I love Boondock Saints. They hate, or one of them, I think Jay or someone, or they never seen it or something like that. They're like, we'll never watch it, out of just because you guys want us to watch it so badly. And I'm like, I like Boondock Saints, but there are people out there that crap all over that movie, and I'm like, well, whatever. It makes it more special to me. So just I'm glad you liked it. That's good. Evie says, Drake, you're too good for this world. Yeah, I think he's just saying like he's just joking, like like he says here, he's just like it's good that someone like Morbius, like that's good because I mean I'm like that. There's things I said, like Boondock Saints and a couple other things where people will say things like that to me. They're like, dude, you're like an angel among us all cynical devils, basically. So yeah, don't feel bad. That's good. I still feel bad how long you had to keep the New Mutants information in. Dude, and what's weird is I had to bite my tongue on New Mutants for so long, and it turned out to be pretty much the same exact movie. I mean, there was a few things maybe tweaked a little bit, but overall, it was like, this is pretty much the same movie. There was a couple ones like that too. There was a couple Transformer movies I saw before, and I had to bite my tongue on. And then there was a couple X-Men movies I had seen early, and I had to bite my tongue on. I think Dark Phoenix was another one. And I saw the original ending of Dark Phoenix, which is funny because you see all these people talking about it online. I'm like, that's not really how it went. But it's funny how rumors start. So that's why doing this channel, I have a perception of like, I've worked on movie sets. I've seen how things work from that angle. I've worked in casting. I've seen how things work from that angle. I've worked in marketing. I've seen how things work from that angle. I've worked in post-production. I've seen how things work from that angle. And then I've also, been to early screenings and then seen stuff that never got released. And then I see how people on the internet say, oh, I have a source that said this, or I have a source. And then it helps me, realize who's actually full of crap out there. So I won't call any of them out or anything like that. But there's a couple people out there that I've like, when I was on Twitter, I'd be like, dude, this guy's so full of crap. And I want to say, dude, you're so full of crap. But then I have to break my NDA to say he's full of crap. And it's like, well, and sometimes I didn't have to sign an NDA, but sometimes you do. So yeah, it's like, so that's what made me, when I started doing the show, I was like, okay, well, I can differentiate. There's some people I'm just not going to believe, even if they get it right sometimes by luck or something. I'm just going to be like, if the news comes from them. So you see me when I do Venom news, like I'm like, I only pull it from these sites because those sites, are full of crap. And I'm sure we'll get more into that when the Venom 3 movie starts production. Madam Web should be the Watu of the Spider-Verse and just showcase short stories. That'd be cool. Do like an animated or anthology thing. That could be really cool. A Madam Web movie that's an anthology that's like Tales from the Dark Side, where she's narrating and it cuts between like 4 different spider people. That could be really cool, but I doubt they'll do that. But that's a good idea. Cross the Spider-Verse animated movie, which made me so happy. I'm hoping this affects the comics, proves Marvel that Peter and MJ belong together. That new comic, I love Zeb Wells, but that new comic, instantly he got rid of their relationship after all that work Nick Spencer did. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done reading Spider-Man for a while at least. Madam Web should, she should. That would be good though, the Watu. Madam Web is Spider-Verse. What if sounds like a neat premise. I agree. Oh, hold on. Let me. I gotta see this comment here about EV. Shit sometimes comes with corn, I guess. What a great saying. What's the other saying from White Man Can't Jump? He says, the sun even shines on a dog's ass some days. The sun even shines on a dog's ass some days. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, or a broken clock is right twice a day. That kind of stuff. I get what you mean. That's funny. All right, so all right, we talked a lot about Venom, the next movie. I only got about maybe 10 minutes left, so or no, I got about 20, almost 20 minutes. Is anyone reading the current comic books? Because obviously you've seen my reviews and discussion videos on Lethal Protectors 1, 2, and 3. So you know how I feel about those. So we can touch on that a little bit if you guys want some back and forth. But I'm curious what you guys are liking or disliking about the main monthly Venom book and also the main monthly Carnage book, because those are two books I have not even touched since their inception and since they came out. So I'm obviously way behind on both of them. I figured I'll buy them in trade when they go on sale on. By the way, Comixology is pretty much dead. Now you can no longer buy digital comics on Comixology app. You have to go to Kindle, but you have to go to like specifically Kindle Comics. You can't even just go to Amazon to buy them. You got to open up a different app or whatever. It's such a pain in the ass. They really just killed that app. Comixology was the coolest thing. Sales every Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays. I mean, that was so awesome. I mean, I love that app so much, and I own so many digital comics, but Amazon completely ruined Comixology, in my opinion. So I don't really read digital stuff anymore either, like I used to. So which is fine because it's getting me to go back to the comic store. And the new place I'm moving to, there's a bookstore not too far from there. So on my way home from work, I can kind of hit it, which is nice. So yeah, it'll work out. I'll get a couple more. I'll go back to getting a couple more physical books. Yes, yeah. There's so the books I'm not reading. So I'd love to know what you guys think about it and stuff. If they do bring Carnage back for part 3, then we'll have the symbiote like Ultimate Comics version. Oh, we'll see. That's a neat version actually. The one that can like mimic or whatever. It like turned into Peter. It was like part of the DNA or something. That could be cool because then it can just turn into Cletus and just be a symbiote that looks like Cletus. Tibia, so speaking of which, I do my trailer reaction for Battle of Super Sons animated last week, and I was so happy, mostly because it shows DC aging up my boy was a mistake. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll get into DC stuff tomorrow. I have a DC animated episode that I recorded that is going to hopefully go up this weekend. That talks about the Green Lantern movie coming up, and it's going to be premiering at Comic-Con, which I got my Comic-Con ticket and I can't go because it's the same week I'm moving. So I actually had a friend help me out with this move, like with some finances, big time. And I was like, wow, maybe I could actually go to Comic-Con then. And then Comic-Con fell on the same week I was moving, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't juggle all this. It's too much. So I will cover Comic-Con news from home like I did last year and the year before. And then next year, though, I will make a trip, and I will see if I can bring my friend Nate with me. Get him as like a +1 and bring him out with me, and we'll try to plan that and vlog it and everything for you guys. But yeah, so they're going to premiere Green Lantern. So we'll talk about Green Lantern, Super Sons, and then I watched 2 DC animated movies recently that they sent me to review. It was like a Teen Titans versus Superhero Girls, Multiverse of Mayhem, I think it was called, or something like that. And then there was an Aquaman animated, King of Atlantis. So they sent me those. I watched them. I wrote some notes down. And we'll talk about those at some point in a video coming up for sure. I can understand your point somewhat, Siike. I believe we shouldn't trust 100% a single source of information. I mean, yeah, and I put myself in that. Like, that's why sometimes I would say things like, you know what, I don't know if I want to say this because I may be wrong, or if I'm going to say this, but this is purely speculation or my opinion. But yeah, no, I mean, you should always, try to double check, see if person A and B are saying the same exact thing or not. I saw the first couple of current Venom comics and no, pass. I'll wait for this one. I'll wait this one out. I'll wait it out on the franchise. Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I mean, this new run it seems too cosmic, which is fine. It worked for Space Knight a little bit, but that's because it was Flash Thompson and it felt right. Having Eddie, it's kind of eaten away because it's like a fish out of water a little bit, but they're not really playing the fish out of water thing. And then they kill him in like 3 issues or something, and now he's like running around some void, or it's like, oh God, whatever, guys. Like, you lost me. They totally lost me. Yeah, Tevye agrees on Comixology. It's broken big time. Why did Amazon do that? I don't care if Amazon owned Comixology. They just left everything alone. That's so weird to me. That it's like you guys literally inherited a gold mine in some level. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that had criticisms of Comixology, and there were some things I would have liked to see tweaked or changed a little bit. But the stuff they changed, I mean, the app, I can read comics I own on the app, but I have to search specifically for that comic. So the search thing is weird now. And then buying stuff, I'm like, oh, wait, so what are the sales currently? And I have to go to like this link to this website to this part of Kindle Comics and to see the sales. But then it, like, I don't know, it's such a nightmare. I'm like, man, remember the day where I could just scroll on my phone and go sales, and then it lists all the stuff on sale by company, and then you go through them and check them, and then you buy it, and then boom, you spend your $3 on a trade paperback, and boom, you're reading a Marvel trade paperback in like within 30 seconds. Now it's and it takes like a minute and a half, but in the world of internet, that's a long freaking time compared to 30 seconds. It's like that old Dane Cook joke where he says in the future everything's going to be instant, where we have just machines that just teleport us right to places. And so he goes, but no matter, we can get anywhere. We can get like steak in 10 seconds. We can, in 5 seconds, we can get to, work in like 2 seconds, just instant teleportation. He goes, but no matter what, as fast as we can travel, the DMV is still going to take like 3 whole minutes. And it's just like him in line, and he's like, come on, I got to be at work in 8 seconds. And I think about that sometimes. Like, it's such a dumb joke, but I'm like, that's how I am with Comixology now. I'm like, wait, I got to go spend a whole nother minute and go to Kindle Comics to look at sales. And I'm like, So, yeah, I don't know. It's that joke always made me laugh, though. I'm not sure if I'm reading the main Venom book. I'm liking and disliking it at the same time. That's what I hear from most people, is that it's not great, it's not terrible. It's just kind of like there's good and bad things of it, which that's fine. There was with Donnie's run, in my opinion, too. So I don't think that's enough for me to really cut it off completely, but just the premise is what kind of, I'm like, whatever. They have a space Venom and a street level Venom with his son, Dylan, who Brian Hitch cannot draw young people. Every time he drew like Ultimate Universe Peter Parker, Peter Parker looked 30 years old. Dylan looks like he's like 24. I'm like, come on, man. Like, whatever. I'm not sure if I call it bad. I just feel it's not for me. I hear you on that. Eddie's Mullet, let me get your comment in there. Venom's main title is dragging. I can't tell if this is Ewing's long way of un-effing what Donnie did to him, or if he's just not as great as advertised. Al Ewing is a pretty good writer, I feel, on certain books. He's really great with team books, I think. The bigger the cast, the better. When they announced him for Venom, I was kind of like, at first I was like, it could be good. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, and then I saw his premise. I'm like, ugh. Then I saw his artist, and I'm like, ugh. That was my stages of facial expressions there. I also think they're investing too much on lore first and the character second. That's what it feels like to me. That's what Donnie did a little bit, was just like, but when he did character moments, they were really good. I got to give Donnie credit. When he did like Dylan and Eddie moments, or Eddie and Peter moments, or anything like that, Eddie and talking to Rex, like, he was really good at those little smaller moments, which is why I wanted more of them. And then like the bigger stuff where he was putting lore first before character, I was like, oh God, yeah, let's get through this, please. I gotta go. No problem, Andrew. I'm gonna be leaving soon too, but dental appointment from where one of my front teeth shattered. Oh my goodness. Well, good luck, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that. Jeez, what did I tell you about being in Fight Club, man? Like, first of all, I'm not supposed to talk about it, but second of all, put a mouth guard on or something. No, I'm sorry about your teeth, man. Good luck today. Kick ass, and we'll catch you hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you, Andrew. I have a theory, hope for it, though. The Kings in Black are all former dead Venom hosts. It'll redeem this story. Okay. The Kings in Black are all former dead Venom hosts. Gotcha. Oh, okay. That could be interesting. So, because I think they mentioned, like, in First Host. Wait. I thought the Kree guy was the first host, and then he went from there to Battle World. So but the Kree guy's already, his body's been disposed of. So what What Venom hosts? Okay. Are you talking about like Lee Price and that mobsters kid? You talking about them? I remember that there was a final panel with Bedlam that suggested he was Eddie. Oh, really? Bedlam's the new. Yeah, right. They're going to reveal his identity or something coming up. I still follow, a bunch of Venom Instagram accounts like Old Man Venom and Lethnol and those guys, and I pretty much will see their posts about Venom, and that's the only time I get any information about Venom is if I see their posts. Aren't they all meant to be Eddie? Oh, I don't know what's going on. What? There are multiple Eddies? Oh man, please don't tell me that. I don't need to connect with Eddie on that level. Carnage versus Moon Knight. Well, let me tell you, I have the 2 Moon Knight omnibuses, and I'm gonna make a video on those at the new apartment. Very different. Very different than the show, obviously. I'm not I don't know a lot about Moon Knight from the comics, just the basics and stuff people have said about him, and then a few appearances I've read where he teamed up with Ghost Rider or Spider-Man, like Round Robin and stuff like that. So I've read a few things here and there, but I'm reading this, I'm like, wow, I love the show. Like, the show is really what I love about Moon Knight, because Oscar Isaac's performance was freaking amazing in it. But the comic I don't know too much more about, but I'll tell you this, I'm gonna root for Moon Knight in that fight, that's for sure. Teen Titans vs Superhero Girls, I didn't pay attention to that movie. Yeah, I was okay. It was like mindless fun, but not actually. It was a little step above mindless fun. I thought it had a little bit of heart to it, actually. So I'll talk about that in the video coming up. And the one I thought I didn't really like was the Aquaman King of Atlantis. That one was just, whew, man, that was a tough one. Speaking of which, that reminds me, I hate the Zeb Wells Spider-Man run because it makes no sense. Yeah, I'm just not into it either. And they split Peter and Mary Jane up already, which I'm already not a fan of. They haven't said who they are yet, Bedlam and stuff. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Eddie. Yeah, it is sad and depressing about Spider-Man, no. Because that Nick Spencer run, I thought he went out of his way to clean up so much continuity, even at the sake of the story sometimes. Sometimes the story would suffer for it, but I'm like, whatever, he's fixing things. I'm going to kind of give it a pass to see where this goes. And in the end, I kind of liked Nick Spencer's run overall. I feel like it was like a way to clear the sandbox and put all the toys back in their original spaces, but then add a new twist where Norman is a good guy now, and then have Peter his relationship with him has to change. That's neat. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's like Batman teaming up with Lex Luthor or something, or teaming up with the Joker. I'm like, sure, it's not going to last long, but while it's happening, I'm curious to see what they do. But yeah, it's then the first issue of Zeb Wells' book came out, and I read it, and I'm like, I'm done after one issue, and I love Zeb Wells, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm not reading any more of this run. Bad news on Venom sales for issue 10. They aren't even offering a 1-to-25 ratio. That's a sign sales are slipping. It's probably because it's just like what Donnie did was, I feel like he did this. He brought it to a zenith, right? He brought it to this big bang of a story that whether you liked it or not, like I personally think his event books were terrible. Like King in Black sucked. I thought the Carnage one sucked. But the stuff in between had moments that were like really good. This is how I felt. But genuinely, King in Black and all the Null stuff was really well received by people. And usually when you bring in a fan base, people who haven't read Venom in years, they come back to the character and you give them a story like that they love, very rarely do they stick around afterwards, because they're kind of like, hey, I took a few years off, came back, got this amazing story, and now I'm going to go back to, I'm just a casual reader. Because if you're a hardcore Venom fan, you never stopped reading the character. But like I gave up on a character a few times in my life, so I wouldn't consider myself a hardcore Venom fan. But I went back and reread them all, obviously, and caught up on the stuff I missed. But again, that's just something like maybe more of a casual or a passionate casual fan, or someone who wants to be a hardcore fan, try to upgrade themselves. But me, like I liked going down that journey and just following Eddie's journey. That was really what this show was. It started out with just following the movie, but then we got into the comic stuff, and I love that we did that. It's been great to really get to know this character. But I feel like after Donnie, there's just a lot of those people that came back. Not a lot of them stuck around, and also them trying to do this thing where we're introducing new characters to drive, variants and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people are getting over that trick that companies have been doing, like DC and Marvel. I think they're kind of beyond that. They're like, look, I don't, and plus they're just bringing in new symbiotes. So that's not even that interesting. It's like you want to bring in some new villains, like I think Moon Knight brought in like an evil Moon Knight guy called Hunter's Moon, who's not really evil, but anyway, they brought him in. I'm like, he's fine, but he's a derivative. I would like bring in some new characters like Batman. James Tynion was doing this with Batman, where he brought in Ghostmaker and Miracle Molly, and these just really different characters. Some ninja-like, some cyberpunk-like, and I thought that really rejuvenated some interest in the Batman books after Tom King had, in my opinion, wrote one of the worst runs of Batman in a long time. um, so yeah, I think you need more of that, and then just going like, hey, we got a new symbiote. Oh, look, it's another symbiote god with horns like Hela, but he's all black, and it's like, oh, we're doing the Kings in Black, and I think most people are just kind of like, dude, boring. So yeah, if it's not even doing 1 to 25 variants, good. I hope it gets canceled, and I hope after this someone just comes in and kind of like what they're doing with Ghost Rider right now. That new Ghost Rider book by Benjamin Percy is really good. Now I did like the previous one that was being written with Danny Ketch. I thought that was amazing, and it sucked that one had got so affected by sales during COVID that it dropped off big time, and then they just ended it. And whatever plan they had for Mephisto and that whole thing, all gone now. But now you have Johnny Blaze, and the new book is just starting fresh. Okay, we're not going to reference much of what happened before, at least not yet, and we're just going to tell Johnny Blaze stories. That's where Venom needs to get back to. So hopefully they do that in the next, whatever next person takes over the Venom book. Just get back and tell Eddie Brock's story. Even if you keep Dylan around, that's fine. Just get back and tell smaller stories, things that maybe you build to a big event, but not something like King in Black level or Carnage, Absolute Carnage level. Like, just kind of just do your thing, put out a solid book to coincide with the third Venom movie's release. Maybe have them fight Morbius and Craven in that run. That's what they need to be doing. More of that kind of synergy where like you need someone like I don't know, some guy out there who writes and is a Venom fan and can structure a story and who's edited. Like maybe you just find someone like that. I don't know who or where they could be out there. I'm sure there's so many of them, but maybe you can find one just randomly, and you could hire them for really cheap, and you could give them like a year on Venom to see what they would do. And yeah, and maybe you'll get some cool stories that coincide with the Sony universe, where you get Venom versus Big Wheel and Venom with Madam Web showing up. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool if Madam Web showed up with a mission for Venom? Yeah, it'd be cool to have someone write that story for you. Anyway, so good luck finding him or her. So yeah, anyway. All right, so I can't catch up on all the comments here. I got to go. It's 1:30. I got to be leaving for work pretty soon. So did you hear the good news? Larry Hama is doing a CGC signing now. You can get all those classic Venom miniseries autographed. No, I think I'll pass on that for sure. Question, I was just wondering, how do you feel about Tom Taylor's Son of Kal-El book? Haven't read it. Haven't read any DC stuff in a while. So we can talk more about that stuff tomorrow, though, for sure. Kane hasn't been around in a while. It's a real shame. Yeah, I know. It's almost... I wish someone out there had a Venom story where they would bring Kane in, and Ben Reilly, actually, even in his new like anti-Venom form. Like, it'd be really cool if someone out there had ideas for stuff like that. I don't know, it could be neat. I would love to, see Kane in a story with Venom. Wouldn't that be awesome? I'll get Ryan Stegman to draw the cover, because Ryan Stegman wanted Kane in his run so badly, and Donny Cates, I guess, was against it. So yeah, we'll get into that tomorrow, Tevia. Happy 4th of July. Oh yeah, that's right. Happy late 4th of July to everybody. Thank you all so much for being patient, for letting me do this live stream today, and for joining me on it, and for the thumbs up. I appreciate all that. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm going to have to end abruptly. I'm sorry I missed a lot of comments. I'm a Moon Knight fanboy, though. Read every single Moon Knight book there is. Evie, I'm going to be on the lookout for you in my Moon Knight videos. I'll have more coming up after I move. But I would love your input on stuff, because I find the character really neat. And like I said, he's been helping me understand some things, or at least the show did a little bit. But one of my alters is probably a bigger fan, because that part of me was the one who was like leaving notes like watch Moon Knight. And so I didn't watch Moon Knight till after I think like the 3rd episode or 4th episode, but they were watching it every episode and loving it. So but it did, once I started watching it, help me kind of understand some things. So I would love your input on Moon Knight stuff. So I'll try to put some videos out by the end of the month, and I would love to get your feedback on them, because I'm more and more interested. The comics aren't pulling me in as much as the show did, but I know the show helped with the performance, and that's kind of what I'm drawn to when it comes to live action stuff, is performances. So, but the book is still great, and I haven't got to the Sienkiewicz stuff yet, but I'm going through, and I'd love to pick your brain about stuff. Marvel must be wondering what Siike is trying to imply right now. No one at Marvel watches my stuff. Someone was like, "Oh, you should reach out to this guy named David Gabriel. He does like trade paperbacks and stuff for Marvel. He's a really nice guy. You should reach out to him and see if." And I'm like, "Well, I don't have his info." And I also like, I don't know. Like I struggle sometimes. DC sends me stuff to review, and I even fall behind. And then I even got some toys that I got in as a gift. As a gift, as a way to prove myself to maybe get more toys in the future. So I have some videos that I'm working on for those, and you'll be seeing those when we move into the new apartment, because I shot a few things I think here, but I think overall I want to do everything over there when I have the new space. So I'll start brainstorming how I'm going to do a setup for this and have a setup for toy reviews. I have an idea. I think I'm going to turn a closet, one of the closets in the new apartment, into a toy review studio. Because I don't have any use for the closet. Actually, it's an extra closet. And I'm like, well, it's big enough to film something in there and display a bunch of toys if I add a couple shelves to the closet. So yeah, you might see something like that in the new apartment. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Let's take one more sip of this G Fuel. It's still kind of cold, and it still tastes good. That's so weird. Because the ice in my other drink already melted all the way through. Yeah. Oh, a little bit left. A little tiny piece of ice left. That's awesome. Well, I'm not sponsored by G Fuel, but G Fuel, this was good. Actually, this Red Ooze energy drink was good, and it didn't, I don't feel like my heart's not racing or anything like that, and the zero sugar, I thought it was going to taste nasty, and it's actually pretty good. So who knows, maybe next time I'm at Walmart, I'll buy a couple more of these. Maybe it'll be good to have for the move, to get a little bit of a boost. But anyway, I don't know. It just tastes good. Antifreeze stays cold longer. Nice. All right. Thank you, Eddie, for that. On that note, thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. And I will see you tomorrow if you're around tomorrow. You have a great day too, Jack. Thank you so much for popping in. Tomorrow we'll do like a more of a broad Seek and Destroy thing where we can talk a little bit about anything, and I won't put a cap on it. We'll just record until I run out of energy. So thank you again so much. I will see you all in the future. Peace. All right, Ace.